December 18th, 2025, 6 p.m. in council chambers. Meetings are also broadcast live on our Spectrum cable TV channel 1303 and streamed simultaneously on the Town of Bucksport's YouTube channel. Roll call. Councillor Bishop?
Here.
Councillor Rabs?
Here.
Councillor Hare? Here. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is the Solar on Earth discussion. The person is not here to present on that, so I guess we'll table that. Councillor Bishop, I'm not sure if you wanted to give any input, or Councillor Rabs, before we table that.
I have concerns over some of the things that have been presented, and I would like our town manager and our economic development director to continue to wade through it the way they have been. And in the meantime, I would make a motion that we table.
Second.
Okay, motion to table and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. The second item on the agenda is a resolve 2026-74, amending the town of Bucksport's schedule of fees to update ambulance billing rates. And you'll see those in your packet if you got a chance to take a look at those.
Yes, just briefly, one of the services that our new billing provider provides is a report of their clients in Hancock County and the counties that surround us. That is included in your packet, and you can see the last time that Bucksport updated our ambulance fees was 2019, over 6 years ago. Certainly a lot has changed in the world. We've gone through a pandemic, which has definitely increased the cost of everything since then. So you can see on the report that I showed, what the average for those around us is versus where Bucksport is right now. And so the intent behind this is to simply get us back in line to those around us. We're not looking to get to the very top of the range here, but just trying to get towards the middle and be comparable to the agencies around us.
I'd also like to recommend that we keep on track, and not have such big hikes in the future, revisit it sooner.
Yeah, many towns update their fee schedule on a yearly basis, whether it's by a CPI percentage or just running a survey of various things, but it should be done on a yearly basis, absolutely.
As we've restructured things recently in the past, council members change, employees change, but with the position of the finance director, I feel like that is probably the direction, the person that would be responsible for bringing that
For sure.
forward
For sure.
for those. So I don't know how that can be implemented in that position's role of duties, but
I am making a note. I am making a note for our goals session to just as a reminder, if somebody doesn't bring it up to that, one of our goals could be an annual review of our fee schedule.
Yeah, it'd be good maybe at that time to talk about, and with Rachel's input too, any other things that we should sort of step up and review more regularly. That would be really helpful to sort of have a calendar of reviews, so folks aren't sticker shocked, if we can avoid it.
Yeah, it's a big jump. I mean, there's no question about it. But again, it's been so long that it's been touched that everyone else, for the most part, does it on at least a yearly or every 2 years, and we just haven't touched it. So
Denning, do you have any input on this piece?
I couldn't believe how much lower we were than surrounding communities.
I was surprised. Yeah.
and it's been how long? What year did we last update it?
it was October of 2019.
Thank you.
And I believe that was done as part of the public safety restructure. I believe is kind of where it stemmed from at that time. But
So good evening. Director Gagan, myself, and Town Manager Graham have met periodically on these rate increases. No one likes to raise rates, but they haven't been done in so long, and it just makes sense to bring these rates up to current. On the EMS side of things, our everything has increased in price. Everything from liability insurance to supplies, medication that we pick up at the hospital. So
Salaries,
ambulances.
Do we have a sense of delinquent payments related to ambulance services? Do we have a lot of people that aren't able to make their payments as far as?
Yeah,
That's not, I know, I
That's,
realize
that's
I got
not
the
my
wrong person up.
department, so that would
Just curious.
probably be.
We could get you that number. There's quite a bit in our accounts receivable on the ambulance side, but that, I mean, some of it dates back 20 years, I think, is some of the oldest ones that we have, so.
It'd
Our
be-
Bucksport's practice has always been and still is with the new billing contractor that, you know, we work with the patient in order to come up with a payment plan. And it's always been that way, and again, it will continue with the new provider as well.
It'd be interesting to see like last year's intake and how much we didn't collect compared to a year from after our third party.
Yeah.
Cause I think it's gonna be quite impressive what they.
And there's also probably billing to Medicare and Medicare as well that would be paid on time, or paid at least, or maybe not on time, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just
yeah.
had a question, just out of curiosity. There was one item in which Bucksport was higher than the rest. I'm sure there's a reason. And
The non-care,
the
Yeah, well, it's
non-transport, care without transport.
care without
care without
transport.
transport, we are higher.
There's, I'm sure, an explanation.
Well, I believe, and maybe Chief Denning could explain it better than I, but I believe that number was done around the same time when you last updated it, and it was half of the average ambulance bill, I think, is where that
That's correct, yes.
$313 number came
Right.
from. If the council wanted to look at reducing that, we certainly could absolutely do
I'm
that.
not,
But I believe that was the logic.
If my memory serves me correct, I believe that's what it was. When we do a call like that, you know, you have cost to the ambulance, personnel, and all the things are factored in. So we go to the scene, we render care, go through everything. I mean, there are costs associated with it, and, you know, if we didn't,
And sometimes 2 ambulances involved and 2
Some-
crews, yeah.
but they only get, if there's 2 crews, 2 ambulances, there's only 1 bill.
Right, exactly.
So-
I'm just saying the personnel lift,
A-
some of those
absolutely.
would
So,
still take a lot of the team.
Again, I don't think that cost is unreasonable, in my opinion, either. So,
Okay, so do we have a motion to move this resolve 2026-74 to council?
Make a motion as stated.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Okay, the next one, and Jacob will give us some update on this, but resolve 2026-78, awarding financing for Jacob Buck Pond Road and Bucks Mills Road culvert replacement, and this was based on the referendum back in 2020. And if you could,
So back in 2021, the council had, or excuse me, that was fiscal year 2021, but it was 2020. The council placed a referendum question on the ballot to borrow $560,000 for the culvert projects on Jacob Buck Pond and Bucks Mills. That went to the voters. It was passed by a vote of 1,863 in favor, 861 opposed, and 139 blank, so passed pretty considerably. A couple of years later, the council awarded the construction to Wardwell. The projects were done. The town paid for it at a fund balance, but never actually took out a loan in order to do that. And so those types of larger projects where the intent was to borrow, but we never actually borrowed, have, you know, it's contributed certainly to some of the cash flow issues that are existent now. So again, the request is to go back and borrow that like the voters approved, and to go from there.
And that would go into the fund balance.
Correct. It would essentially pay back.
for that capital
Yeah.
expense. Any other comments, questions?
That was just a tough one for me, because if it's paid for, then it's a few years old now, I'd just soon leave it paid for, but I do understand the current financial situation that we are presented with, and that was originally supposed to have had the construction loan attached to it, so. And it would definitely contribute back to our fund balance with our current scenario, had it been taken care of the way that the voters had requested it be dealt with originally.
Will it move the dial on that 90-day balance the auditor recommended? A little bit, or-
It certainly won't hurt. I don't know how much it will move the dial, but it's a step in the right direction to getting back where the auditor is recommended.
Is, with our current financial scenario, is it possible, I understand that going through trying to find out where the money is very important, what needs to be fulfilled, but if this weren't to take place, would we have a cash flow issue going into the winter with some of our fund balance goals?
Yeah, it would be very difficult, for sure. The challenge that we run into with our cash flow is that a lot of our budget is very top heavy in that, I think 90% of our debt service, which is over $1 million, is paid in the first half of the year. So, the next basically 3 months until we get to the second half of commitment, there's a lot of expenses going out. There's not a lot of money coming in. So it certainly would make it more challenging not to do this.
Questions or comment from the public?
Motion moved to council.
This motion on the table to move to council, do we have a second? Second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?